and it says Lonzo Rufus Matterhorn the third. And I'm like, they're like, who is this? And they're like, yeah, I heard you got named. Somebody called him. Like, what? So I went there and saw the whole thing. So I've been Lonzo for about the last almost month.
That is
Lonzo.
awesome.
But
Okay.
this other guy, he said, hey, Alfonso. Hey, it's not Alfonso, but you can call me Mr. Matterhorn for sure. So that's been like a little running joke. I go to training next month in South Carolina.
So should it be Lord Alfonso Rufus Matterhorn?
No, it's supposed to be Lonzo. Just Alonzo.
Just Lonzo?
I think it's Alonzo, but you know, I like the Matterhorn part is what's really.
Is he like the
The
lawyer?
Rufus is what kicks it off. Lord Rufus Matterhorn the Third. Like, I love that.
I feel almost knighted.
Yeah.
But that sounds like a really cool alias.
I like
I
that.
like it.
I like it too. So
Yeah. I'm gonna have to say it like 38 times before I finally remember it. Because I'm gonna be like, remember, it's the Lonzo name. It's the Lonzo name.
See, we're gonna end up having too many shots before one of these shows, and then we're just gonna be like,
It's like into my left, whatever this guy is called today.
Rufus.
Rufus. Right, it's gonna be just Rufus.
I feel like that kind of rolls off the tongue though, like Lord Rufus Matterhorn the Third. Like I can dig that.
So I told him when I go to training,
like
that's what's gonna be on my name badge.
I like it.
That's what I'm putting.
I feel like we need to have like those old like horns whenever you're being announced.
like a cornucopia.
Yeah.
Like cornucopia.
Introducing Lord Rufus Matterhorn the Third.
Yes.
Yeah, I can definitely dig that.
Get you a crown.
So Corey, since we're continuously recording over here, and I
Yo.
already started this because I really wanted to catch
Oh,
this
crap.
story. Yeah, I had to have
Oh,
this.
you got it?
Yeah, this is documented.
Yes.
I had to have it. I clicked that record button real quick when he started to tell that story. But we figured, season 2, man, you're about to kick it off.
I'm gonna kick it off.
You're gonna kick
Sweet.
season 2 off.
Oh.
So the first segment in season 2, if you don't follow us, follow us. Tell your friends to follow us. Tell your mama to follow us. Tell your mama's boyfriend to follow us. Then
I mean, we don't want to get in trouble if just your mama follows us.
no, it'd be okay.
we don't want to get in trouble.
Anybody can follow us.
Yeah.
But we're also doing YouTube videos, so anything that you see on Facebook gets segmented out, and we're actually recording and posting that on YouTube as well. So look for Three Crafty Bastards season 2. And we normally do kind of the segment thing, and we'd like to kick this second season segment off with the
With me.
Newg. The Newg over to my right. So what do you got tonight?
You know what's nuts?
Ah,
We'll start off with that.
these nuts.
God damn it! Why do we have to?
Got him.
All right. So I've been noticing a lot lately. Like I've been getting bored at home, so you watch Netflix and but a lot of stuff is coming up about the climate change thing, and I'm noticing a lot of people are talking about it. A lot of people are freaking out about it. One of the big ones was they were saying that like the left side brought out a girl who was autistic. Was she autistic?
I don't think so. I think
Okay.
she was just a child who cared about her
Okay.
future.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
are you talking about now?
But I have a lot of conservatives on my page, and I don't really pay attention to most of it. But they were like, I can't believe they went this low.
Yeah, for certain.
But,
It's always a conspiracy until the sun disappears.
Yeah. In all honesty, though, from this whole climate change, whether or not you believe it or not, I mean, there's scientific facts on both sides, I guess. But in the long aspect, I was talking to one of my friends about it, and in true retrospect, does it hurt anything really by trying to be more green with a lot of this stuff? Like, a lot of people are complaining with it and being like, well, it's all bullshit, you shouldn't follow it, they're just trying to make money off this. What's it gonna hurt? We find a new gas, we find a new way of energy. That sounds all beneficial to me. I mean, if that's the kind of aspect that a lot of technology is gonna go with this movement, well, why are we holding ourselves back on it? I don't quite understand that.
We've had different. I'm a movie guy, anyone who knows me knows.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, what's up?
Hey,
Thank
Nikki.
you.
Welcome to
Some
season
help.
2.
I always consider the life imitating art imitating life thing when I look at movies. The ideas that they have, because are we really eating up our planet that much that we're looking for alternatives for us to live? Because you look at even with gosh, can't think of the name of it, with Matthew McConaughey when he was in space.
Oh, Interstellar.
Oh yeah.
One of the best
Interstellar.
movies of all time. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you got that movie with Matt Damon when they were shrunk.
Martian. Oh.
Right.
Oh.
I know what you're talking about.
Downsized.
Yes,
Downsizing.
yes. So they're finding ways to conserve our resources on Earth, or finding alternatives for us to go live on other planets or other alternatives. And are we really eating up? And I just read an article the other day. It said that 150 miles off the coast of, I want to say Alaska, which is normally iced right now, is thawed out.
Ooh.
So they had pictures of it. It's not like they couldn't say this is false or fake, but 150 miles is quite a bit of shoreline to be melted away. So are we really killing ourselves?
Yeah.
And I tend to think that we probably are.
I mean, I watched a documentary on Bill Nye. Awesome guy, but it was on his life story, and they brought in the fact of like greenhouse gases and stuff like that, and how his argument was against the creationists and everything. And there was a spot in it where it actually took my attention with it, where the scientific facts of how they were finding this out, the CO2. No, I'm saying a lot of my friends that were. I feel like I'm defending myself. No, a lot of my friends that were right wing on my Facebook page were calling this girl autistic, and like a lot of the people who were like reposting and sharing it were calling her autistic. So I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, it's just a girl that was just trying to.
I knew she had an accent. I didn't know what she was.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, back to the story. Where were we again? So on this documentary, they were talking about how they were figuring this out. And he was in Greenland, and they had an ice checker where they took a tube and they would actually shoot it down into the ice, and they could pull up the last 24,000 years.
Right.
And they were showing all the different, like, this is 10 years on the ice. This is 20 years, whatever. And they showed like a big spot on it, and it was like all brown. And they said this was a volcanic reaction for 25 years, about 10,000 years ago.
Man.
It was really, really cool. And then they get up higher on it, and it just kept getting clearer and clearer. And he's like, well, what is the clearness being caused by? And he goes, well, we tried to figure that for a long time, and we realized that later on it was the CO2 that was in the air. And when we tracked it down to the date, it was during the Industrial Revolution. So it just keeps getting more and more and more since the Industrial Revolution. So I think his argument is completely on that side of greenhouse gases because of the fact that we're causing it since the Industrial Revolutions. I have scientific fact to provide for it. But I think my whole thing on it is whether it's... Yeah, sorry. True. But yeah. But even if it's not true, if it is true, what the fuck are we going to hold ourselves back for? I don't understand this whole Facebook right-wing thing where it was, well, we got to hold ourselves back because it's all bullshit. The Bible said that. I don't give a fuck. If this is going to be for technology, I don't understand why we're holding ourselves back with it. Besides money and fossil fuels.
I don't understand why we're so resistant to change and so resistant. Okay, let me lay this out here for you. So when the new phone comes out, the new iPhone just came out, the S10, Note 10, blah, 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 just came out. And myself as a consumer, I'm like, yes. Like, I just got the Note 9, and I'm so happy with that phone. And I waited a while to have it. And once I had the opportunity to get it, that new piece of technology, I was like, yes, sign me up. Apply that same thought process to revolutionizing the way that we consume fuel,
right?
The way that we consume natural resource. The resource is there. you know, whether it be water, hydrogen, you know, whatever, solar, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like a lot of the people that are like, no, don't take our gas, don't take our diesel, don't take our guns, fuck you, USA. Those are the people that are resistant to change.
Yes.
What is, I get it, along the same lines of what you're saying, what is so wrong? We go out of our way to have the newest of everything, but then resist the technology that could potentially save our planet. Now, we'll never recognize this. And our kids will probably never ever recognize this.
Yeah.
You know, but their kids could potentially be living in a different world that we will never get the opportunity to see.
Right.
And it, you know, it starts now.
Yeah. I mean, I think the same people who are actually doing the gun thing, like, I agreed with what you said. But
America.
But I mean, I still don't grasp that concept where it's like, with the guns, sure. I mean, if you're afraid they're going to take it, whatever. But this is beneficial to everybody. We're taking your fuel that you're spending $40 on, or you could just get a solar powered car, or you could do what Tesla's doing.
But also,
or you could do. I mean,
You have to consider
saving.
You have to consider that
consumers' money.
The technology hasn't been forced on us either.
No,
we've been given the option, and you know, water powered cars, hydrogen fueled cars, electric cars are things that we're all kicking around the idea of, but we have not been forced as far as the consumer to purchase these things. There hasn't been a big enough incentive as a consumer to say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and pass on that gas and I'm going to get myself a hybrid.
But it's an entire society of like
it's
an entire
That was a fart joke. I didn't even realize it, but I might have to tell you a fart story later.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, but yeah, that's why we're laughing.
But this is like an entire sorry, I can't.
Yeah. Pass on that gas.
This is like a blooper, but we're just gonna keep going with it. Hang on.
Anyway.
Shit, I lost my train of thought.
See, let me add one more thing while you collect those thoughts. I just want to know if it's I look at things on the side of scare tactics.
Okay.
You know, you got the people that talk about the flat Earth. Now we got people talking about vaping.
Yeah.
So, which one's really right? I mean, obviously, I'm not worried about the flat Earth thing, but people are like, well, how do you know it's not flat? How do you know they didn't walk on? I don't know and don't really care. But when it comes to vaping, I don't smoke, so it's not a big deal to me. But are they scare tactics, or are they really onto something?
Yeah,
and that's what all the concept
to not have a substantial impact on the tobacco industry.
And also that goes with your conservationist efforts, is what I was getting at.
Yeah.
Environmental conservation. Are they scaring us into things? Like, do I need to go to Alaska to look at that 150 miles of shoreline, or do you just take their word for it?
Not to mention, I mean, I don't think we haven't mentioned yet that the Amazon is burning.
Yeah.
You know,
hopefully it's out by now.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I feel like with something that massive, man, it probably does burn for a while. There's a good possibility it doesn't.
Yeah.
Plus the wildfires in California, like we're more concerned with our internet provider than we are with oxygen. Well,
for some people, their phone is their oxygen.
I can agree with that. I can certainly agree with that.
Even for the people who don't believe that, like, I mean, I feel like I'm in like a class in college where everybody was procrastinating until the very end to wait to see if they were going to get a failing grade out of this. I mean, that's how I feel with it, because it was just like, even if you might fail off this, just can we like progress into this so we can actually get it the fuck done? Because, I mean, this is going to be beneficial to everybody if you just get the fucking homework done and we get it done real quick, than trying to wait till the last minute to see whether or not you're going to fail the class off of it. I don't understand this. I mean, whether you think it's right, whether you think it's wrong, whether or not you think the planet's going to die for this. I mean, if we're going to progress in technology and you want to be like how the futuristic movies are and Back to the Future, let's fucking do this. Let's actually go for science. Let's try and do something better.
Now, I hate to be this guy.
I'd love to run off banana peels. It'd be awesome.
I hate to be this guy, but you also have to consider, and I don't think anybody's mentioned it thus far, the natural state of the Earth, of the planet that we live on. You know, what was it, 10,000 years ago, we experienced an ice age, and so the Great Lakes are basically made of glacier water.
Yes.
Right? The glacier would come down, it would cover, you know, the northern part of the United States, and then the season would change and it would recede. Then the season would change and it would come down. You know, so you have to consider that the Earth was going through a change anyway. Now, that's not to take away from climate change. Climate change is very real. We are affecting this Earth, and the more that we populate it, I hate to sound like Ra's al Ghul right now, but the more that we populate it, the worse it's going to get. You know, so she's right.
I read about that.
That is true, but it's the natural ebb and flow of the planet anyway, and then we're making it that much worse by not accepting change, which is what it essentially boils down to.
And what I wanted to do with a lot of that is, like, God damn it, I keep losing my goddamn train of thought with this shit.
I didn't make any fart jokes. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you.
No. God damn it.
The
Bring
pressure,
up the fucking front joke.
the pressure of going first.
I like Nikki's point.
Yeah.
That she's making in regards to just how she puts the record-breaking heat in Europe. I didn't realize the heat over there was like certain countries that are usually like cold or like hot.
Well, even here, our summers are progressively getting hotter.
Look at our winters.
Yeah. Can you remember the last time that you haven't heard, well, record-breaking temperatures this summer?
Yeah.
It's been at least over the last decade, right?
Yeah.
We're just continuously getting hotter.
There's part of it. I got it back.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome back.
Thank you for the block. Okay. So I mean, I think this deals with the generation that is going in.
Go.
Okay, before I lose it again, I think this deals with a lot of the generation actually that I'm in because of the fact that we don't research shit. We really don't.
Yeah.
Like we'll see it on Facebook. We'll be like, she's autistic because I saw it on the right wing's post about this and this and this, and it could be just somebody who has a different accent than us.
Right.
We don't research this shit, and a lot of people are doing that, and then that's what you're gonna come up with. I encourage people to actually research this shit.
Yeah.
Like I love to actually hear something on Facebook and go, I want to see this. Or if I see like a new bill coming out, I'm gonna read this shit.
Right.
And I look into it, but everybody else is like freaking out about, well, this is gonna be in it, this is gonna be in it, our privacy's gonna be gone, this is gonna happen. Did you see that on Facebook, or did you actually look into it?
Yeah.
I suggest if you're offended by something, actually look into it and find out whether or not it's what you think it is.
Reading is fundamental.
Exactly. I know it's hard, and reading is hard, but you know.
Nice. I feel like Nikki might be a good person to have a conversation.
Oh, she'd love it.
Yeah, I feel like if that's her bag, then maybe
and we'd love it.
Maybe we need to give her the floor one
Someone
of these days.
Someone who's passionate about it.
Yeah, on climate change for sure. So,
well, we could call it the left wing, not the west wing.
The left wing. Oh my god.
It's
let's just not even. Let's not.
They'll have her come on here beating people up now.
No.
Okay,
I
so
won't bring anybody.
Do you have anything else to add?
I do not. I mean, I just thought that was a crazy tactic that's going on lately.
That's a pretty intelligent conversation. That's also nuts.
And we're not yelling at each other. Look at that. It's beautiful.
Hey. That's how it starts. I mean, fuck you, but that's how it. So for Three Crafty Bastards, of course.
The Newg.
I want to put it.
Come on.
Do it.
Come on. We're only 3 drinks in. You can do this.
Do I do the full thing?
Yes.
The full thing.
Full thing.
So keep Alonzo on? I just want to be Rufus Matterhorn III.
Lord.
My bad.
Lord.
Yeah. Lord.
Or
Rufus.
Sir. Which one do you like better? Lord or Sir? Sir Rufus Matterhorn III.
I like Lord.
Lord Rufus Matterhorn.
That's a little more.
You need a
That's
cape.
high. Okay.
Let's take
You kind of
Sir.
need a cape for this now.
I actually do like a little crown, a little cape.
Yeah, like the white trim on it.
Sir
Oh,
Rufus Matterhorn III.
Is that what you're going with?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
He doesn't want to be egotistical about it.
No, not at all. Not
yet.
at all.
Couple more drinks. By the end of the next few segments, he'll be like,
I am king.
Give
Rufus.
me my cape! I am Lord Rufus Matterhorn III, signing out.
I know, right?
Second in line for the throne.
Damn right.
Nice. All right, man. We're out. We'll be back.